Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on today's webinar. Today, we are going to show you the easy A to D setup on our Midrix 2 indicator. My name is Jack with Minabea Intech, and we're going to dive right in. So, it's super easy to set up the Midrix 2 indicator. The first thing you need to do is go to the back side of the unit, and you'll notice right here there's a hole, and it will be covered by this stainless steel cap right here. Okay, so when you remove this cap, you'll see that inside the hole there's a small switch. Okay, you need to make sure that this switch here is in the position closest to the home run cable. Okay, that will put you into the setup mode, which will allow you to set up your A to D converter. Okay, now if you have a brand new unit, you needn't worry about that because it will come in the position it needs to be to set up the A to D converter. Okay, so once you ensure that the switch is in the right position, all you have to do is start with the unit off, turn it on, and press and release the 0 key during the segment check. At this point, you'll see ADC con and S code flash for a second, and then you'll be right here on this screen where there's a flashing cursor. At this point, you'll type in the service password, which is 202122. So go ahead and use the numeric keypad. And then press the tear key. Okay, think of the tear key as enter. Now, the A to D setup is streamlined, so it's going to take you from the beginning all the way to the end without having to navigate the menu. Okay, so at standard, you're going to push tear. At unit, you're going to push tear. And then you'll see a unit of measure. This unit is showing kg, but I want to set it in pounds. So if you need to change it, go ahead and press and release the function key until you see the unit of measure that you'd like to use, and then press the tear key. Okay. Next screen that you'll see is ranges, and this is where you would change it to a multi-interval or a multi-range, but 99.9% of the time it's going to be a single range setup. So for this demonstration, I'm going to show you the single range setup. So go ahead and push tear. You'll see signal, and then if you want to change it, you would do so right here, but we're going to follow through with this setup. You'll see max. At this point, you'll press the tear key and you'll set in your span or your maximum capacity. You can go right to the keypad. At this point, I'm going to type in 100 pounds, press tear. Okay, then you'll see D. D is your digit or grad size. So go ahead and push tear again. And this one is set up to 0.2 pounds. I'm going to go ahead and change it to 0.05. And as you can see, I was able to type right over the numbers that were shown in the display. You push the tear key, you'll see save. You'll push the tear key again, it'll say no. It'll always say no because you need to press the function key once to have yes displayed, and then press the tear key, and you'll see the unit will go busy for a second. It will flash, the screen goes blank, it will come back on again, and now your A to D converter is set. Okay, I had some weights sitting on my scale platform while I was setting up the A to D, but that's not a problem. See how it just went right back to 0. Okay, so now your A to D is set up. The next thing we're going to do is calibrate the scale. Now this is the calibration in service mode. Remember, we have our switch in the position, in the service position. So we're going to go ahead and do the service calibration. So now when you do an initial calibration, you need it to be in the service mode because the indicator doesn't really know what the weight should be. You're going to tell it. You're going to define what 5 pounds really is. Okay. So what we're going to do is press and hold the tear key. You'll see Cal E user. Now that's a default setting. Your scale will come set up that way. And the beautiful thing about that is if you need to change the calibration value, and on initial calibration, you will, because you'll need to set it up based on the weights that you have. All you have to do is press and release the tear key. You'll see a blank screen with the flashing cursor, type in the calibration weight that you'd like to use, for example, and press tare again, and you'll see that it's showing -2. Okay. Well, I'm going to use 5, so I'm just going to show you that again real quick so you can see how that works. Okay. So I'm going to press and hold the tare key. It'll come up Cal user, and as you can see, it retained the 2 that we had just set. So it's going to hold on to the value for you. So I'm going to bring it back to 5, because that's how much weight I have here. Press the tare key. It'll show a -5 because it doesn't see the weight yet. And once you place the weight on the platform, you'll see the negative disappear. Okay, and now it's showing you the deviation. Okay, to acknowledge, press and release the tare key, and this is the moment where the adjustment takes place. Okay, at this point, you're weighing, you're calibrated, and your scale is ready to go. Just keep in mind that you will need to go back here to your menu switch and move it over away from the home run cable, okay? Away from this cable. This will put you in the user mode, and that does a couple of things. Not only does it lock you out of the A to D converter, so nobody can go in and inadvertently make changes, it will also ensure that the scale shows 0 when it powers on, okay? It will also limit the calibration outside of an acceptable range. And what I mean by that is if I calibrated the scale at 5 pounds and then I go to do a calibration and I put 5 kg on by mistake, the scale will not allow me to make the adjustment. It says, I know what 5 pounds is. This is too far away, and so the calibration would not happen. But that's not a problem still, because if you just put the scale back into the service mode, perform your calibration again, it will accept the value that you tell it. Okay, so it gives you more control over the calibration. Okay, so there you have it. It's super easy to do. As you can see, from start to finish, it took us less than 10 minutes with me talking all the way through it. Your technicians out in the field probably take them 5 minutes to get it all set up, and your customers up and running. There's just one more thing I wanted to say. If you ever find yourself in a situation where the technician leaves the site and the customer had you set the scale up at 50 pounds, and he calls you about an hour later and he says, is there any way you could set the scale up for 100 pounds? There's no problem. All you need to do is walk him through the A to D setup. He could change the span of the scale without affecting the calibration, because the calibration data is stored in the A to D based on the internal resolution of the scale. So that will be unaffected. Okay, just a little fun fact. I know sometimes you get those calls on a Friday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and the customer's an hour away and he wants you to come back and change the scale. Yeah, I don't know that I'll make it in time, but let me just walk you through the steps over the phone and I'll get you the capacity that you're requesting. And at the end of the day, literally, everybody's happy. So that concludes this week's session on how to set up the A to D converter, the easy A to D setup on the Midrix 2. My name is Jack Lacommare with Minabea Intech. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call and we'll be more than happy to speak with you. Thanks, everyone, and have a great day.